When we talk about the values of our company, we still refer back to the passion and craftsmanship of John Okland.
When I think of my grandfather and my great-grandfather, they really represent, the beginnings of the company. But it wasn't just in the way they did business, it was in the way they lived their lives.
I definitely am proud of what my great-grandfather, grandfather, my father, my uncle have done. I feel like they've given us the foundation we need to really grow the company in the future.
It's great to be involved in a community that recognizes the impact that buildings have on a person's life. My great-grandfather, he was a very humble person. He related well to everyone.
I can't even imagine to think of taking a ship from here going clear to America. John Okland was the oldest son on the farm in Norway.
My grandfather was in line to inherit the farm. John, at the age of 19, decided to leave the farm and come to America.
John had a different vision for his future. You realize the drive and the hunger he must have had to leave his home and his family at age 19 in search of something more.
So here was a boy from Norway, from this very dock that we're standing on, who sailed over there and started a company and was able to grow the company to the stature it is today.
It was really John's drive and his hunger for something more that really got us started.
He wanted to do work that was related to carpentry and to building things.
Met my grandmother Martha on the boat. His desire was, after meeting my grandmother, he wanted to get to Salt Lake City.
When he got to Salt Lake, he immediately had to earn a living, and so he had this carpentry skills.
Very good finish carpenter. I was always very impressed with what he could do with his hands. He was a small man in stature, but had very big hands, very strong.
That was kind of the in lead. They said, well, you do such a great job on the millwork, why don't you build my entire house? And that's where in 1918, John founded the company. About the same time that John started in the construction, he and his wife Martha started their family.
They had 4 children, 3 daughters and 1 son, and the one son is my father. My dad was a big man.
Jack was a good football player, went to the University of Utah, was an All-American.
And then was drafted by the New York Giants with an opportunity to play professional football.
But he still had a desire to be involved with his father in construction. Once Jack graduated from college, John said, I'd like you to come and join me in the company and to work together with me. Jack said, well, I'd like to do that, but what I'd like to do is I'd like to branch out. I'd like to get more into commercial things, industrial things, very complex things. Jack was only 23 when he became president of Okland, but he combined the dedication of quality and craftsmanship he learned from his father with a keen sense for business. Under Jack, the stature of the company grew tremendously.
A lot of people just stayed in Salt Lake City, and I remember my dad saying, oh, I'm going up to Idaho, Arizona, or I'm going to go over to New Mexico. He thought big.
Jack appreciated a good challenge. He was creative too, Early on, Jack designed and developed complex concrete forming systems. He had an innate ability to understand how things went together.
When he would find concrete that wasn't up to the standards we should be delivering, he would ensure that the work got redone at a level of quality and craftsmanship that was acceptable to him. That attention to detail is something that we strive for every day.
1959, we bought an International pickup, and he had the top of it painted with the yellow color. And we put an Okland decal on the side of it. So now we had kind of stepped into the big time with our own identity. Jack realized that he and John couldn't do every project. And so Jack was very interested in obtaining good quality people.
So much of our success has come from hiring good people, value-driven people, people we could trust to take leadership roles as our company has expanded.
It goes back to John Okland, then to Jack Okland. They developed a reputation. And because of that reputation, James and I knew that we had to work along that way. We certainly realize that our success comes from the talented people we've been able to bring on who share that passion and the commitment to excellence.
Just as much as I remember going to job sites and working on projects as a kid, I remember people that my dad was working with at the time, and we would all go out fishing together and do those kind of fun things together as well. So we always kind of like to feel like we're a family. That same family mentality still exists today.
Family's a big part of the whole Okland name is just family-oriented, and that's what I really like about it.
They care about each of their employees. They care about our families. They care about our livelihood. It's been a great experience to work at Okland over the last 34 years I've been here.
Our vision for the future is to see people grow and see their careers blossom to where they can not only provide for their families, but they can enjoy coming to work every day, and they can enjoy personally taking pride in the buildings and the experience they deliver to other people.
I worked for Okland for 43 years. People are, of course, the whole foundation of our success. I think that our company and its reputation has drawn good people to it through the years.
When I first came to work for Okland, I can recall 4 superintendents for the company. Today, I have no idea how many we have. The one thing I'm really impressed about Okland is the quality of people that they have from top to bottom. They've just been very successful in attracting the right people with the right core values that fit Okland and construction and what they stand for.
I talk about projects that Okland built in 1965 as projects that we built, because I feel like as part of the Okland team, the history and everything else that they've accomplished is part of who we are and what we've done, and I almost get adopted into that.
The growth of the company under Randy and James' leadership was incredible. It was explosive. Their leadership really changed the face of Okland construction.
Our growth was pretty dynamic, but we still held fast to the things that we had learned from both my father and my grandfather.
Those values were passed on, John to Jack to Randy. It was natural for Randy to pass that on to his boys.
You know, at an early age, we gained a passion for construction because I think a lot of that just came through my dad's passion. We'd drive through town and he'd show us projects and he'd show interest. So at an early age, our passion was more for just being part of buildings.
We love concrete. I think one of the reasons we like it is because it's really difficult to execute concrete at a high level. And I would think that's one of the things that makes us a little bit different is our love of design and architecture.
You know, the great thing about working with Okland is that they are a willing partner in the design process, to where they really help you achieve the aspirations, the kind of big picture aspirations for the project. They're trying to help you figure out how to make it work, as opposed to trying to tell you why it doesn't work.
We've been working with Okland for several decades. I don't know how they do it, but it's amazing that there is a strong belief system in what they're doing and how they do it throughout the entire organization.
Well, they frankly have a lot of experience doing great projects for great designers. They've always really dug deep and brought ideas to the table to help maintain that original design intent.
They are known as a firm who can do complex projects, challenging projects, innovative projects, and they can deliver that, and they can deliver it in a very collaborative way.
The industry's changed a lot in the 38 years I've been with Okland, and I think it requires you to really be a team player. At the end of the day, decisions always seem to center around doing the right thing. You want to walk away feeling that you did the right thing for your client.
We've worked with lots of architects and we've worked with lots of construction companies, but none of them like Okland. They always give you a baker's dozen. They are a quality organization.
Somebody calls up and says, you know, who's your best contractor? Okland's are among the first name we'll put out there, and they've never given me any reason to change that opinion. We want honesty, we want good pricing, we would like the cooperation, all of those kinds of things we've found with all of the Okland staff, and it's really a pleasure to work with them.
$115 million, 129 days to get the project completed. The stakes were incredibly high. The NBA season is going to start. Concerts are going to take place. You can't imagine a more pressure-packed situation. Add to all of that an incredibly tight labor market and escalating prices, and the fact that Okland was able to deliver on time, on budget, exceeded our expectations, really is miraculous.
They're looking for that little bit more, being involved in communities that make a difference in the quality of life, and being involved in building those buildings that make a difference in the quality of life.
In every interaction we have, we want a shared success. We want it to be a mutually beneficial interaction.
Our owners deserve good service, and it's really rewarding when an owner comes to you and talks about the value that you've added to their project and about how they early on gained a sense of trust. It's really that owner or the end user of the building coming to you and say how the building has transformed their lives or have made their lives better in some way. That's really rewarding to us.
It's sort of that mindset of the family business and running it with a lot of personal pride in the projects that they do.
In my office, I have a painting of my grandfather, and once in a while I'll notice that out of the corner of my eye, and I'll think to myself, am I taking care of what he spent so long, so much energy and so much commitment to build? I think as time goes on, our passion, our vision is more about people.
We've got some really sharp people, and they need opportunities to lead and be able to take on more and more responsibility. And so we feel like to provide those opportunities to our people, we need to grow. What we want to make sure is that we're not going to grow at the expense of the experience we deliver to our owners, to our subcontractors, or to our employees.
In order for us to be around in another 100 years, it's going to take the same things that John Okland established in 1918.
So many of our values date back to what we first learned from John Okland. He gained his clients' trust by delivering value and having a fanatical attention to quality. He and Jack set an example of taking ownership and sharing success with their employees. These are our core values. They're not just words on the wall. It's how we run our business today, and it's what Okland has represented for the last 100 years.
For the next 100 years, I think the sky's the limit. Our core purpose as a company is to create remarkable experiences. We tell people we love everything about construction, but why we do what we do is because we want to create remarkable experiences.
We love a good challenge. We want to be part of the most complex projects, but more importantly, we want to be able to deliver these projects, and it's how we deliver. We want to create a remarkable experience in every project. For our people, our clients, our partners, and our craftspeople, that's what gets me excited. That's what makes me wake up in the morning and do what I do. That's why our teams do what they do.
Construction methodology will change, technology will change, processes will change, but as long as our values are intact and our people really believe and subscribe to our values, we're going to be successful.